Hey everybody, I'm hiding my face because this is take 3 of this Mayniax Monday video. Let's see if I can get this straight, shall we? We're shooting today at Connor O'Neill's. This was my first home away from home when I moved to Ann Arbor about 10.5 years ago. And for today's Mayniax Monday video, we're going to be talking about how to tell if your business is a brand. Now there are 3 ways. The first one is it transcends its industry. There are a lot of industries, a lot of businesses out there, and everybody within that industry has heard of all these different companies, but very few people outside of that industry have heard of them. So that's one way. Let's say though, like this is Ann Arbor. Domino's Pizza is headquartered here. Now, everybody in pizza has heard of Domino's. Now, it might be that you're a pizza connoisseur and you would never order a Domino's pizza, or it might be that you're just sitting at home one night and you need something delivered, but everybody has heard of Domino's. Domino's is in people's brains as being pizza, beyond the pizza industry. So there's one. The business has to transcend its industry. 2, it has to transcend its target market. Now, there's another brand in Ann Arbor. A lot of people have heard of it. I believe it's called the University of Michigan. Now, U of M has a target market where, you know, if you really think about it this way, they're trying to target a bunch of intelligent kids and everybody coming out of high school. They don't want people who aren't all that bright, I suppose, you know. I mean, who does when you're going to college? It's going to fudge with your numbers if you bring in dumb kids. But, so their target market is that. And outside of that, you've got a lot of people that are fans of the teams and all that stuff. But people outside of their target market, you know, the people that never go to Michigan or anything like that. I'm saying like that a lot, don't judge. These people obviously aren't in the target market, but they've heard of Michigan, they're fans of Michigan. People in Columbus, Ohio have heard of Michigan because they basically hate Michigan. You know, there's schools all over the place that have heard of Michigan. There are people all over the country that have heard of Michigan, whether or not they ever went to college, whether or not they could ever get into the school. So, you know, that's Michigan transcending its target market. That's another way to tell that you're a brand and not a business. Of course, no college wants to think of themselves as a business, but let's be honest. And the third one, and this is where something that I like to call the Phoenix test comes into play, is a business to be a brand has to transcend its geography. So the reason I call it the Phoenix test is we're in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Now, I want to be able at some point to pull anybody off the side of the street in Phoenix, Arizona. I know, you were thinking Phoenix, it sounds cool, it sounds like rising from the ashes. But you're talking Arizona? No offense, Arizona, we love you, you're warm. But I want to be able to pull anybody off the street in Phoenix, Arizona and say, hey man, have you heard of Mayniax branding? And if they say no, obviously Mayniax branding doesn't transcend its geography. But if I say, have you heard of Domino's Pizza? And they say yes, well, Domino's transcends its geography, and that's a good thing. So when you're in Phoenix, though, I'm just going to say, if you live in Phoenix, Arizona, guys, I think you should call it the Ann Arbor test if you're trying to build a brand. Because that way, you know, you can pull me off the side of the street in Ann Arbor and say, hey, have you heard of this place that's based in Phoenix, Arizona? And if I say yes, you got a brand. So those are the 3 ways to tell if your business is a brand. It transcends its geography, it transcends its industry, and it transcends its target market. There you go, kids. Everybody have a fantastic Mayniax Monday, and as always, stay gutsy, gang.